Hello everybody. Hey, Danny Roberts, how you doing? We'll keep it a few minutes until we get everybody kind of coming in. So I'll just keep talking. A few hearts coming up already. That's good. I like hearts. Hello, Claire. Hey, who we got here? Hey, Elvia Marketing. Daniel S, how you doing? Lunchpreneurs. Hey, Katya, haven't spoken to you for a couple of days. I've missed you. It's been very quiet in my life without a little Varbanova. Hey, Chick Katie. Lunchpreneur shared. Steph, how you doing? Steph with an F. Haven't spoken to you for a while. Catherine Craig. Daniel 9. Ooh, a few people coming in here. That's absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm not sure what my Wi-Fi is like tonight because it's been dropping out for some of your codes. Hopefully, it will be okay for this evening anyway. My name is Garth. Garth Delican. I'm also known as the lifestyle guy, and I'm also a lifestyle expert. It's good, is it? Excellent, brilliant. Hey Lucy, how you doing? Great scope. I love your scopes. I love your energy. I love your little smile. You're just absolutely, you're superb on screen. Shouldn't deprecate yourself so much. You're brilliant. Hey, how you doing? Hey boss, how you doing, Vincenzi? My God, my husband was taking the piss. Was he though? Hi. Hey, how you doing, Indrani? Great scope, Indrani, by the way. Love your energy myself as well. So we're here to talk about always do more than what you're paid for. And I was thinking about this today, and I thought, what am I going to talk about? I kind of know about giving value, but I can't give you examples because I'm not a business coach, so I can't tell you how to give more value in your business. All I can do is give you examples of what I think giving more for your value is. Your face was priceless. Whose face? Not mine. I thought my face was priceless anyway. Strike a pose? That's me. Yeah, so I was thinking, if I could give examples, have I personally think I've been giving value. So if I go back to many, many years ago, when I worked in the world of advertising, and I worked for one of the biggest advertising agencies in London, in central London, and I was there for 18 years. And I ran a department, and I was actually MD of a couple of companies, and we happened to be one of the most profitable. Well, we were one of the most popular departments or companies within the organisation. And that wasn't by accident, because I've always kind of liked people. I always loved people. And I think the best way you can... I'm going to give you a phrase here. It's about hearts and minds. And I think if you win people's hearts, you win people's minds. Boss man Delican, love it. If you win people's hearts, you win their minds. So in those days, advertising was a very cutthroat business. And it probably still is, to be honest with you. But I've been out of it for a little while now. And we used to hit some heavy deadlines. We used to get some fabulous briefs, but sometimes they used to take you into the night, used to take you into the early hours of the morning. And the way that I used to think about inspiring people, even though I was the MD of the company, was to actually roll up your sleeves, muck in and get on with it. And if you lead by example, you're actually giving them more of you than they perceive. You think you're the boss man, you ain't going to do any more than brief them, then go home. But no, I took them by surprise on many occasions with staying there, and I'd be there till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. And they appreciated that because I was there. I wasn't just giving them a brief and going home and saying, see you guys in the morning. I wanted them to see that I really appreciated their efforts, and I was in the trenches with them, and we were going to do this together. But more importantly than that, when we did used to work late, and there wasn't always times that I could stay late, because I had other obligations. I had a young family as well. But I was always showing my appreciation, right? So if I knew some guys were working late or staff did work late, it was awesome because what I would do, I would send their wife a bunch of flowers because, it wasn't just a guy working for me or a girl working for me. They were a partnership. They had people in their lives, and working late for me was impacting on their lives. So I wanted to show my appreciation. Then, if it went on more than 3 times, I had a rule. If they worked late more than 3 times, I would actually let them go out to dinner and I would pick up the tab. Just simple little things. And other directors in the agency would laugh at me and just say, well, we don't do that. And I would just say, well, who's making the most money in this agency for the agency guys? So it was a big thumbs up for me. It was an absolute no-brainer. As everybody knows, if you tap on this little man here, that gives lots of hearts. We're trying to give 500 hearts for each person, and I will reciprocate on your scope, which is absolutely brilliant. Share me with your followers on Twitter. Just slide up if you're on an iPhone and tap share. Facebook, Twitter, or your followers. If you're on an Android, if you swipe left or right, you can share me with your followers. And just keep giving the hearts. Now, when I left advertising, I decided to become a kickboxing instructor. And stay with me, there is a thread to this story. And I decided very early in my career as a kickboxing instructor, because I'm not a huge guy, right? I'm only about 5'5", but I'm physically quite strong. And I knew, because I've got that kind of guy's mentality. And when I used to train, right, you were always looking to knock out your instructor because it was just one of those things to do. So I knew that I had to bring something special to the party, right? And I made a decision very early on when I was a kickboxer that I had to be the fittest, fastest, strongest guy in that class. And if I wasn't, I had to be at least as fit and fast as strong as that guy in there. It was just a mental thing, right? I had to give more of myself because I realised they were aspiring to be me. I was the guy with 2 stripes on my black belt. They wanted that black belt, right? They wanted to actually prove that they were as good as me. They wanted to knock me out, you know, in more ways than one. But I couldn't let that happen because there was no respect then. So for me to be that fit, I mean, I'm fit now. I pride myself on staying fit, right? But 5, 6, 7 years ago, on a scale of 1 to 10, I used to rate myself on a 15. And believe me, I could stand a 15. I really could. So I used to lead by example even then. So, you know, if we were doing a certain technique, if we were doing a jumping spinning kick, for example, I had to jump the highest, and every time I do that kick, I had to land on the same spot every time. It was a point of honour to me. And even if I did 50 jumping spinning kicks, 50 jumping spinning kicks had to be perfect, I'd have to land on a spot each time. If we were doing 100 press-ups, who'd be leading them? I'd be there doing 100 press-ups, right? I'd be doing 100 press-ups as well, and I'd be laughing and grinning at them all the way through it. Was I feeling pain? Of course I was, but I wasn't going to show them that because I had to lead by example. I had to give them 110% of me because that was the example I had to lead. I had to show. They had to follow my example. But the other thing as well, just being an instructor, it wasn't just about being an instructor. You've got to be a personality as well because people love people. I love people. I only do business and talk with people and interact with people that I know, like and love. So at the end of every class, again, it was a little rule I had that I would say, okay, guys, we've had a brilliant class now. I'm going to be in a pub across the road there. If anybody wants to come and join me for a beer, I'll be there. And you know what? I had the biggest circle of friends I can ever remember having in my life at that period in time. And it was awesome. We just interacted with each other. We had fun. We talked about the fun we had in the class, who got knocked out, who did the most press-ups, who was, you know, who was trying to knock me out, and everybody would put. And it was just a fun time. And it was just awesome because I was giving much more of myself there. The other stuff as well, even now, in my corporate work, which I absolutely love doing. You know, I love nothing better than having a group of 100 people in front of me or 50 or whatever the numbers are and giving value. I love interacting with people. I love to have fun with people, you know, and I tease them and I cajole them and I get people up. And I just give a part of myself to them that I don't see other speakers do. I see speakers having fun with their audience, but I'm much more interpersonal. You know, I love interpersonal skills. I love intrapersonal skills. And the more I can get people involved, I think the more you're giving of you, the more you're giving of your personality. You're not just a speaker doing a corporate event. You are kind of one of them with a bit more knowledge. And the thing is, you've got to be the last man standing. You know, like in my kickboxing classes, I had to be the last man standing. People doing 100 press-ups, I'll get up and I'd laugh at them. We'd do 100 kicks on one spot, kind of just doing roundhouse kicks. I'll be the last man standing. I'll be there laughing. Hearts and minds. You win their respect, you win their hearts, you win their minds. And case in point, I was doing a corporate workshop again on, I forgot who it was, I was doing stress management, that was right. And I noticed there was one lady in there who was actually very quiet. She wasn't taking in as much as the others seemed to. So I left her alone. But at the end of the class, I just said to her, or at the end of the workshop, did you enjoy that? She goes, oh, it was absolutely fabulous. It's just I've got a lot going on in my life at the moment, and I've had some problems, and I just couldn't get involved. I said, well, do you want to talk about it? And I was up in Newcastle, which is the north of England, which is about 4 hours away from where I live, and I had my last train to catch. But I thought there was something about this lady that made me stay behind. And as it turned out, she did have a lot of emotional stuff going on in her life. And I spent 2 hours of my own time with her that day without any extra pay. I missed my train home. I had to stay overnight in a hotel, and I had to pay another £150 the following day just to get home. Didn't think anything of it. I got home, a bit tired. And then literally 2 weeks later, I got an email off her, and it turned out that she was the executive director of BP UK, British Petroleum. And on the back of that, she booked me for a national roadshow for can't even speak. I'm doing it in Drawing here. British Petroleum. And I got a roadshow nationally, just doing workshops up and down the country, which was awesome. And that's because I gave her 2 hours of myself. And I didn't even think anything of it. I just cleared this emotional baggage that she'd been carrying. And she'd been carrying it for 20 years. Can you believe that? And in a 2-hour session, cleared it completely. And I still get emails off her now and notes just saying how grateful she is to me, how fantastic she feels. She can't believe how I changed her life, how her life has changed. And it was such a lovely feeling. And I've got to finish off, haven't I, actually? Last one. Touching on what Indrani was saying about working with kids, I actually do some volunteer work as well, and most weekends I volunteer at my local hospital, and I work on reception there, and I just show people around the hospital. I help people around in wheelchairs. I show that if they get lost or they look lost, I take them around the hospital, and I do that for free. And I think it's very important to actually fill up your spiritual cup as well, because if you're filling up your spiritual cup, your spiritual being, you're kind of in a better place, and you've got so much more of yourself to give there. So it's very, very important. Giving and sharing and giving much more value than you're paid for, it just pays dividends, not just to your clients, but to yourself and to the universe. And if you pay forward to the universe, it pays back 100-fold. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Garth Delican. I'm also on Facebook. I'm part of Perry 10K. You can connect with Perry 10K through L'Entrepreneurs, who's Katia Varbanova. That's about it. That is my scope. I think I've gone over time, actually. So follow everybody else. Give lots of hearts. Hope you enjoy my scope tonight. See you all soon. I'm Garth Delican, and remember, if anyone can, Delican. Good night.